Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Thursday. I'm Justin Cool.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, a city of Jamestown man died in a crash yesterday. What caused the accident? Next.
Plus, a man is facing charges after he allegedly threatened to kill a woman with a gun. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter's here with a live look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin and Matt, and happy Thursday, everybody. So close to that weekend. We'll start off with a live view coming from the Warren City Bank in downtown Warren. You can see all the cars that are traveling across the Hickory Street Bridge. Dry right now, but some showers and storms will be developing as we go throughout the afternoon. Nothing really returning on radar this afternoon, but you can see a few little light rain showers back here. That's really not going to be the big deal. For us, it's mainly going to be pop-up showers and storms that flare across the southern tier. So the Storm Prediction Center has pretty much the entire southern tier in northwest PA under a low-end marginal risk. That's a level 1 out of 5. That's all the darker green. And this goes pretty much through this afternoon. There is the chance a couple thunderstorms this afternoon. Could be a little bit on the stronger side. You can see on the visible satellite imagery, this little swirl right here is actually low pressure. And this low pressure area is moving close to our region, but there's a boundary kind of stuck right between us. And that boundary is going to be the focal point for a few showers and storms this afternoon. Here it is hour by hour. You can see here temperatures should be into the upper 70s through the day, where you see the temp drop off into the 60s. That is where the computer is actually suggesting there'll be rain. And the rain showers will continue over the next several days, and humidity big time as we go into the weekend. We'll talk about it later in the show. Justin and Matt.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you. Our top story. A city of Jamestown man died from injuries suffered in a crash on Route 394 near the I-86 overpass in the town of Poland yesterday. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office reports that 67-year-old Terry Telshaw was traveling west on the roadway when he apparently crossed the center line, entered the eastbound lane, and struck another vehicle head-on. Deputies say Telshaw suffered serious injuries in the wreck. He was flown by Mercy Flight to ECMC Hospital, where he later died. The driver of the other vehicle, 35-year-old Landon Armstrong of Conowongo Valley, was taken to UPMC Chautauqua for evaluation, but deputies say he did not appear to have any significant injuries, and investigators say no charges are being filed in the incident.
In other news, a city of Jamestown man is facing charges after Jamestown police say he threatened to kill a woman with a pistol Wednesday morning at a West 8th Street house. Police charged 25-year-old Bless Grant with reckless endangerment, menacing, unlawful imprisonment, and assault. Grant allegedly struck a woman multiple times with a pistol, restrained her against a wall, and threatened to kill her. As she drove away from the scene, police say Grant allegedly shot at her vehicle as well. One of those bullets struck the trunk door. Police say Grant was arrested later in the morning at his house.
The Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office says they arrested 2 people Monday afternoon following an investigation into the selling of illegal narcotics. Deputies say they found powder cocaine as well as scales and packaging consistent with the sales and distribution of illegal narcotics. 46-year-old John Kulzitsky and 48-year-old Vicky Eisenhart were both charged with criminally using drug paraphernalia. Kulzitsky was additionally charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance and failure to register with the New York State Sex Offenders Registry. Eisenhart was additionally charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance, and deputies say multiple charges are pending and more arrests will be made. Kulzitsky was arraigned at the town of Machias Court and was remanded to jail on $25,000 bail. Eisenhart was issued appearance tickets for town of Machias Court.
And Congressman Tom Reed yesterday announced that Chautauqua County will be receiving a $1 million grant to support their efforts to combat the opioid crisis in rural communities. The congressman says the opioid epidemic is destroying communities throughout the district and that the grant will be able to help Chautauqua County continue its efforts in keeping those communities safe. Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello, meanwhile, says that the collaboration efforts to combat the crisis locally have had a positive impact. Borrello expressed his gratitude for the recognition of their work through this grant. The Health Resources and Services Administration provides funding for rural communities' opioid response program. Our Corp is a multi-year opioid-focused initiative aimed at reducing the mortality and substance use disorders in high-risk rural communities. And Matt, certainly, we've seen that effects here.
Absolutely.
Pretty much every day. Good Thursday to all of you. Thanks for tuning in here on WNY News Now. Certainly that money, it seems like it's going to be going to causes that will be helping.
Absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see how they allocate that. I know there's a couple of different committees in the county that try to come up with some initiatives. So I guess what we'll have to do in the next few months is look at the agendas each month of the legislature. And certainly it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of times the experts tell us that it comes down to the people who are actually, using these drugs and whether they want help and have the resources to get it.
Yep.
And that's the biggest thing. Certainly it can't help anyone unless they ask for it, but at the same time, if they're asking for it and it's not here, that's an issue. And in rural communities specifically, healthcare sometimes is very costly, and a lot of times that shows in the lack of coverage. Certainly with UPMC Chautauqua now under the UPMC chain, they will have more resources part of that, but still at the end of the day, it's a rural hospital and there's only so much that can be done.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know where we go from here. I guess onward and upward.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully in a better direction, nevertheless. So hopefully you all are having a good Thursday. We appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. Hello to Wendy. Hopefully you are doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Andrew is here. Kaylee is here. Pam is watching. Good to see you. Jill, hello to you. Butch is here as well. We are doing well. Hopefully you are doing well as well. And Wendy's talking about the fatal crash yesterday in the town of Poland. Certainly, this viewer footage that we ran a little bit earlier, very tragic. What police say the man crossed the center line and struck another vehicle, and his injuries were so severe that once he was transported to a Buffalo hospital, he perished. But certainly, our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family as they go throughout this time. And it seems like, certainly during the summer months, at least, a lot of people are out and about. We've heard of a lot of motorcycle crashes, not this case in specific, but please just be careful when you are out on the roadways. Coming up, a lot more local news. The latest on hundreds of lawsuits that have been filed since the Child Victims Act was signed into law. What local churches are implicated?
But first, officials are warning residents to avoid parts of the Allegheny River. Dakota.
And we'll take a live look over downtown Jamestown from the futuristic HD News Now cam. Lots of sunshine out there, but that will be changing as we go throughout the afternoon. We'll talk about it next as WNY News Now continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's gonna have some bison in it, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's gonna have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
And happening now, health officials in Cattaraugus County are warning residents to avoid parts of the Allegheny River after sewage discharge was released into the water earlier this month. The untreated water has resulted in high fecal bacteria count in that river from the South 4th Street pump station to the South 1st Street pump station in the village of Allegheny. Officials ask residents to avoid swimming, kayaking, canoeing, fishing, or any other activity that would bring them in direct contact with the water. Exposure to untreated sewage can cause illnesses and viral infections such as hepatitis A. Health officials said they will continue to sample and monitor the river's fecal bacteria counts and update the public when it's safe to use that waterway again.
The New York Child Victims Act went into effect yesterday, and as part of the new law, victims of child sex abuse have a 1-year window to sue an abuser, no matter how long ago the abuse occurred. And lawsuits are expected to be filed against a number of larger organizations, including churches and universities. Whitney Wild has more.
It's another turning point in a new approach to justice for child sex abuse victims.
There is no place for you to hide in the state of New York any longer.
Starting Wednesday in New York, adult victims of child sex abuse can file civil cases against their assailants. Victims will have 1 year to sue, regardless of when the abuse happened. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed the law in February while commending survivors for persevering even when the system rebuffed them.
You have put the world on notice, and you exposed this silent, secret scandal.
Officials with the New York court system expect a flood of cases, prompting them to set aside 45 judges to work only on these lawsuits. Wednesday in Manhattan, victim James Grine said years of pain are finally ending.
I've suffered many, many years, and this last year has been tremendously up and down, and I'm just joyful for the day today.
One high-profile case, a lawsuit from Jennifer Arose against the estate of now-deceased financier and alleged pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, his associate Ghislaine Maxwell, and 3 women known publicly only as Jane Doe. I'm Whitney Wild reporting.
Alrighty, Whitney, thank you. Now, local churches named in the lawsuits include Holy Apostles Parish and St. John's Church here in Jamestown, St. Joseph's Church in Fredonia, and Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church in Forestville.
And a visit to your doctor could one day include mandatory screenings for drug use. The U.S. Preventative Services Task Force is recommending doctors screen all adult patients for illicit drug use. The expert panel says doing so could help with acute diagnosis and effective treatment. This move comes as the country tries to grasp with a nationwide opioid epidemic. Illicit drug use is considered using illegal drugs or using prescription medicine for non-medical reasons. The panel does not specify how doctors should screen patients, though. They leave that up to the medical professionals. Recommendations from the task force can have an effect on insurance plans. The panel notes this recommendation has not been finalized, and they are currently taking public comments through its recommendation through September 9th.
And how many prescription drugs do you take? And if it's a lot, you're not alone. A new Centers for Disease Control and Prevention study shows that most adults aged 40 to 79 took at least 1 prescription drug in the past month, and 1 in 5 took at least 5. So what pills are everyone popping? For the younger half of the group, it's mostly antidepressants, ACE inhibitors, which are used to lower blood pressure and treat migraines, and cholesterol-lowering drugs. Now, for the older set, cholesterol-lowering drugs continue to be a favorite, but also anti-diabetic medications and beta blockers, another class of drugs used to lower blood pressure. The study shows that women who take more prescription drugs than men.
That's interesting figures there. And, you know, I've always thought, it seems like today's world is so pill happy, where it's like, oh, you know, I find myself doing this. If I have a headache or something, it's like, oh, I'll take some Aleve or some ibuprofen or something like that. But you want to take that phone call?
No. I always, you know what? I always get these 866 numbers. And what I'm honestly thinking, maybe
we should put them on one day.
Maybe it's a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
Maybe they're calling about your pills.
Maybe. But I don't know. It's just, you know, back to topic. It just seemed like we're such in that society where it's like, oh, you got a migraine, here, take this.
Yep.
You know, and it's not just for that, but for all sorts of things. So.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I myself try to be careful.
Right.
But you're very right about that.
Yeah.
It does seem to be the end all be all.
Right.
So
interesting, nevertheless. Interesting recommendations and figures there from them. So hopefully you all are having a good Thursday and enjoying the day, because I know it's going to be a little bit warmer today. Yesterday wasn't too bad if you're in the shade, but I spent my afternoon enjoying the outside in the sun, and it was pretty darn hot out there.
It was. I was pretty impressed.
But not as hot as it probably could have been, because I know Dakota was talking about how they're having some major heat waves down to the south. So we'll see if any of that's coming our way. Let's check in with the comment. Hello to Joe. Hopefully you are doing well. And, he says hypertension. That's a big one for a lot of people. High blood pressure, and I think attributes to something we're doing right now. You may be too. Sitting down. And I think very much as we migrate to more computers, I mean, how many devices do we have within our reach right now? And, people are not getting outside and exercising, and not even exercising, but like you're just not working physically as much as maybe we used to. So that very much could be a trigger to that. Hello to Joshua. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Hello to Barbara and Chris. Thank you all. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to these live videos by downloading our mobile app to stay up to date on all of our local news. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's here with a look at our local weather forecast, and weather will be warming up for this weekend.
Well, and later on, the Offshore Grand Prix boat races, they're set to kick off this weekend at the Dunkirk Harbor. Details ahead as News Now continues.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story, a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Perfect way to get rid of those spam calls. Just say, I'm the boogeyman, and I'm coming to get you, with a mouthful of worms and smash a clock over your forehead. Wrestling fans will get that reference. Here's a beautiful picture of a sunset that occurred in Buffalo last night. Andrew Stevenson, who is actually a forecaster here on staff, actually is in Buffalo, and he took this beautiful picture of the sunset yesterday. It was gorgeous yesterday. And if you have any weather videos or pictures to share, Hunters WX on Facebook and Twitter is how you get it to us, and we will get them on the air. Now, the big story this afternoon is going to be the showers and storms that actually do develop this afternoon. So the main timing window on this, based on the new model data, is going to be 3 o'clock this afternoon until 8 o'clock this evening. That looks to be the main timing window for some of the strongest activity. But this is the big key point here. It's localized. Not everybody is going to get a storm today, but where you do get a storm, there could be some gusty winds, heavy rain, and maybe some small hail in these storms as well. So what is fueling these storms? It really has to do with the humidity. You can see here, this is where we're at for dew point. A 68-degree dew point, that's muggy. You can feel it when you step outside, but whoop, right up the scale we go, and this is where we're going to be hanging out over the weekend into early next week. This oppressive range, tropical-like humidity makes a return. It's still summer, and the dew points right now actually aren't bad, but these are going to creep up as we go throughout the afternoon. You can see lower 60s down across the southern tier in northwest PA, more comfortable air once you work up northward. This is actually all in response to the frontal boundary that's actually down to our south. That's actually helping to create the very humid conditions. Now, here's the storm potential product off the in-house computer model. Wanted to show you this because through the afternoon, you can see when you get into these reds and oranges, this starts to indicate the higher potential for thunderstorm development. So there's going to be enough moisture in the atmosphere through the afternoon to help fuel some of these storms. And as we go into the late night hours into tomorrow morning, we ultimately clear out the rain, at least for tomorrow morning, but it comes back for tomorrow afternoon. Here's why. We have this little inverted low that's actually down to our south, and this is a focal point for some of the showers and storms. It's not going to be a widespread deal. It's going to be those pop-up showers and storms through the afternoon. We'll show it to you here on Feature Scan. You can see the model shows these showers just flaring up out of the southern tier, and this is going to continue throughout the afternoon. And again, in any one of these, there could be the potential for gusty winds, some small hail, and definitely some heavy rain. That all clears out this evening. A few showers and storms left over for tonight. Tomorrow starts dry, but then tomorrow we get into a chance for a few more showers and storms, especially in scattered nature tomorrow. Zone forecast will start at the Lake Erie shoreline. Temperatures here this afternoon should be into the mid-70s here. A couple showers and storms definitely possible through the afternoon with a northwest wind. Eastward we go into the valleys and mountains here. Maybe upper 70s here. Maybe some spots may flirt with 80. Widely spaced showers and storms through the afternoon with a southeast wind. Next 7 days of your life coming up. Now Friday, you can see the percentages there, 45-40% for Friday and Saturday. Again, chance for scattered storms each day and sticky, icky humidity for the weekend and early next week with temperatures return back into the 80s once again. Sports is next. Don't go away.
Invest in your business or cause by letting the marketing gurus at WNY News Now and WNY Media Company grow your business.
Purchase an ad much like the one you are watching now on WNY News Now's daily show, News Now at Noon, WNYNewsNow.com, or our brand new mobile app.
And then get feedback from our marketing experts and fans alike.
And finally, watch your business grow.
As an added bonus, community partners messages will run not only on our scheduled programming, but on weather alerts and breaking news as well.
Plus, messages are shared on WNY Sports Now programming. Anything from a live local basketball game to the Phone Zone Sports Desk.
Become part of our family today.
And contact us right now.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Matt Hummel in for Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. The general manager of the New York Yankees got quite a scare Wednesday when police officers in Darien, Connecticut stopped his car and ordered him out at gunpoint. It was caught on camera, and Steve Overmeyer shows us what happened.
Bodycam footage from the Darien Police Department shows this case of mistaken identity. Yankees GM Brian Cashman was ordered out of his car by police at gunpoint.
Driver, turn off your car, put your hands up! Put your hands out the window!
Cashman's Jeep Wrangler had recently been stolen. He was retrieving it from the police impound, but it was still recognized as stolen.
Walk backwards towards us, please. Understood, sir. We'll talk to you in a second. Back up towards the detective.
All parties remained calm in the situation, and within minutes, officers confirmed the mistake.
You look very familiar to me.
GM of the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I know. I used to see you at Brook Street Bagels when I was an Eastchester cop. Apologize for the embarrassment. Clear it, turn all the lights off, and we're good. No spectacle.
Cashman was driving the Jeep to Norwalk so it could be processed for the investigation. What made matters worse was an unconnected incident.
We had a guy that showed his gun in a doctor's office, left in a Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
And then we're driving around looking for that Jeep Wrangler, white guy.
Cashman complimented the Darien Police Department, saying they were professional and trained and doing their duty.
Alrighty, Steve, thank you much. And a Little League team in Barrington, Rhode Island was accused of breaking the rules by a team they beat in the national playoffs last Saturday. The accusation came from the coach of a New Hampshire Little League team. He says that members of the Barrington team were stealing signs, which is against Little League international rules. The New Hampshire coach reported it to umpires who investigated, and the umpires issued warnings, but no one was ejected. And Little League International says it considers the matter to be closed. The coach of the Barrington team says that the accusation was untrue.
It's actually pretty disgusting, to be honest with you. Barrington Little League prides itself on honesty, integrity, and young boys and girls playing the game of baseball and softball to the best of their ability.
Now, Barrington's Little League team will be playing in the league's World Series starting Thursday in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Wow, good. I guess the right things prevailed then there, but still, that Yankees coach, I feel so bad for him. That
general manager.
General manager. That must have been so terrifying.
How embarrassing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, real. For that to...
I mean, it's not so much embarrassing for the GM, it's embarrassing for the police force.
Right,
I mean,
but I could see how that could be confused. I mean, if you're driving around a black Jeep Grand Cherokee, and,
and it's in connection with another crime, crime,
and it pings as stolen, it's like that's a red flag. Yeah. It's like, gosh, well, hey, at least no one got hurt.
That's right.
But still, nevertheless, that's some very startling news either way. Well, closer to home here, the offshore Grand Prix boat races. They're set to kick off this weekend at Dunkirk Harbor, guys. This is the second year of the races that will be held in the city of Dunkirk. It's a 3-day event that includes a boat parade Friday, boat trials Saturday, and the competition on Sunday. Dunkirk Police Chief David Ortolano is telling us that traffic is expected to be pretty congested along Central Avenue on Friday evening due to that parade. He then advises motorists to pay attention all weekend long to posted signs and parking information. Last year's event was streamed on CBS Sports Network. For more, visit tourchautauqua.com. So it's a pretty cool event, and Dakota, it'll be a hot weekend for it, but nice either way.
Yes, it'll be nice and steamy. A good place for the water.
Yeah.
I guess you could be like, what's his face? One of the NASCAR announcers, boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys. Darrell Waltrip.
Yes.
That's who it was.
Yes.
And they just did all these really awesome improvements up there at Dunkirk, too. So that'll be great to really highlight what's going on there. And,
wouldn't it be fun if somebody who's actually watching it from the pier actually gets splashed with water?
Hey, I mean,
that'd be fun from like the boats going by.
Yeah, that'll be fun until your phone gets wet.
Right.
Then
it'll cool you off.
Well,
you gotta have a life-proof case.
Yeah, they're gonna sue Dakota for it now.
I have a life-proof case for mine, but it makes my phone too thick.
No sponsored endorsement.
Yeah.
There.
Speaking of being too thick, let's take a look at the booming afternoon.
Oh, jeez.
3 until 8 o'clock this afternoon. Strong thunderstorms, could be some gusty winds, heavy rain. The humidity returns over the weekend into early next week. We're talking 80s, and look at those overnight lows into the 60s, so muggy night. So this is midsummer weather once again.
All right. Dakota, thank you.
You're welcome.
That'll do it for us today. News continues 24/7 at WNY News Now. Hope Jessica Peter has a good day. David, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So long to Wendy and to Pam as well. Hopefully you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. We're back tomorrow. We leave you, though, with a live look over downtown Jamestown. Looks like everyone's out for lunch. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.